The top weight that I ever got to, my documented weight is 290. I approached 300 pounds. You know, I know in my kitchen I was 305 pounds on the scale. When you go to the Disney theme parks and Eeyore is smaller than you should go on a diet. I went to the bakery. I felt a little bit better about everything. When Mickey is smaller than you know, you shouldn't get the double cheeseburger. But I did at the Disney theme park that day. My marriage was failing. I went to Glamour Shots to have my picture taken. I wanted to give them to my husband and say, you know, I'm still that girl that you married. She's in here still. And I went to pick up the pictures. This is before the digital age when you could have seen them, you know, right then. And I remember when I saw the pictures, I thought, how did my mother get in the photo session? You know, I didn't see me the way that the camera did. I didn't get my picture taken that often. It was easy to ignore it. But nonetheless, there I was. And I was becoming increasingly unhappy, unhealthy, and it was taking a big toll on my life. And I tell people the story, you know, everybody's had a bad day. We can relate to that. I had a bad week. Monday, I get home from work and I get the mail out of the mailbox, and there's an envelope, no return address. Open it up, three lines typed on the white piece of paper, and it informed me my husband had been having an affair. It said, follow him next time he leaves the house. So that night, he came home, he left, I followed him. Sure enough, it was true. There I am with a newborn son, a 4-year-old daughter, and this, you know, overweight, miserable. I didn't know what to do. I was so upset. I went to the bakery, got a bag of Napoleons, felt a little bit better, you know, I'd get through it. The next day, I pull myself together, go in the office, put on the cutest outfit in my closet, and every day there's somebody with a purple shirt when I tell this story. So no offense intended in any way, but I love purple. It was my favorite, or I used to love purple, I should say. It was my favorite color. But I had on purple leggings, my double extra large purple top. I thought I looked good. Go in the office, all the men are already sitting around the conference table, and one of them looks up and said, oh, look, everybody. Barney decided to join us. You know, we call people beached whale, cow, pig, Barney. You know, it's okay to make fun of you because you're overweight. No. I can handle a little kid innocently enough saying, you know, look, mommy, she's fat. But for an adult to make fun of you to your face, I mean, do it behind my back, but my face, it's hurtful, really hurtful. So that night, went to Baskin Robbins, got the espresso and cream, light ice cream, buy two, get two free. Felt a little bit better. And then I went over to my dad's house on Wednesday, showed my dad the letter. You know, Dad, they called me Barney. You know, I'm falling apart, crying to my father. My mom's holding the baby, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. My dad's, you know, rubbing my shoulders and saying, honey, you're a strong woman. You need to get your house in order. I even called a chapter in the first book, you know, getting your house in order. You'll get through this. You'll be fine. And he's massaging my neck, and he stopped, and he said, honey, I know things look bad, but I think you have a tumor. He's a little bit of a hypochondriac. I call him a boo-boo leptic. There's always a boo-boo of some sort going on, but a tumor. And you know, I feel it. I'm like, oh, wow. So I go to the doctor, and he's examining me and says, get dressed, meet me in my office. Well, you know when they tell you have to go in the room with all the diplomas hanging on the wall? You know you're getting bad news. So I'm starting to think, what size box will they bury me in? That was before they made coffins bigger. They were still using the piano caskets, or crates, 4 caskets. I was petrified, thinking, who's going to raise my children? What's going to happen? And he walked in, and he had the most pained expression on his face. And he said, it's just a fat deposit. Well, I knew I had a lot of fat here, and a lot here. I had a lot here, a lot here. So much in my arms that when I lost all the weight, you know, people always say, what about the skin? Well, there you go. That's the ugly scar of having skin removed. Fat deposit. I wanted a tumor. I wanted to save Jules' telethon. I wanted to be a victim. But maybe it was me. I did it to myself. This is 1 pound. It's a sample, replica, it's rubber, of body fat. 1 pound. Now, I have a challenge for you guys. Next time you're at the grocery store, I want you to pick up a 25-pound bag of dog food. First thing, the minute you walk in the store, and I want you to put it on your shoulder, or just hold it in one arm, and do your grocery shopping. And I want to see how long you can carry that 25 pounds. I know what works. Are you guys confused? Like, that whole panel was confused on how to eat. Do you know if you should be vegetarian, if you should avoid all white foods, if you should be low carb, high carb? Is there a little bit of confusion? I don't think you'd be here tonight to hear another answer if you knew exactly how you were supposed to eat, right? I think it's personal preference. Some people function real well, vegetarian. I know some people who've done the high carb or low carb type of diets, you know, all protein. They do really well. I think the nutritional plan that works for you, meets your budget, meets your kitchen time constraints, I think that's kind of individual, like we all are. They're all good. Any of them would lead to weight loss. Following any diet. Someone asked me in the hall about a particular diet, what my thoughts were. I think any of them will work if you stick with them. A diet. This is eating plans, ways to eat. This was the government's food pyramid. When I was a kid, do you guys remember this version? You could look at it and see little chicken bones, a piece of Swiss cheese, an egg. You kind of knew what it meant. Do you get what this is? You can get, move your body, a little exercise, but when you have a steak in your refrigerator and you don't cook it and it goes bad, doesn't it turn blue? That's the color they gave meat. So it's not quite logical when you look at their food pyramid, and they spent $10 million creating it. They could have made this the food pyramid and saved so much time and made it less complicated. It says, avoid fatty meats, get your vegetables, and daily exercise. We don't need to get into a debate over how long we've been here on this earth or how we got here. I want you to think back 100 years. Who settled Tennessee? How did they live? What did they do? How did they eat, work, play? What did they do? How close are you to that? And just think, get back to how our ancestors lived. I think that's a real good way of looking at it and make it a lot easier. They ate diets that were rich in fruits, vegetables, unrefined, unprocessed, whole grains, lean meats, nuts, proteins, and water. I think that would be a pretty good looking food pyramid. Water at the base of it, and then natural whole foods. So you just try to eat a little bit more like that. And it's gotten very complicated in our modern world. If you turned these graphs on the side, the rate of increase of the portion sizes of the foods we eat equate almost exactly to the rate of increase of obesity in our country. These are just portions. Typical serving of Budweiser beer in 1976 was only 7 ounces. Now the average serving size is 40 ounces. When I was a kid, we would get on our bicycle. We'd ride our bike to 7-Eleven. It was a treat. You'd do it once in a great while. You'd get a small fountain soda, 12 ounces, not even that. I think they were more like 8 ounces, and you'd ride your bike home. Now children are put in the minivan. Mom pauses their DVD or their PlayStation game. They get in the minivan. She puts SpongeBob playing on the DVD player so they're not bored while they drive to 7-Eleven. And then they get a 64-ounce soft drink, and they're driven home. Kind of easy to see why childhood obesity is off the charts. And they're now saying half of the children alive today will contract diabetes in their lifetime. This isn't a might or a could. It's a will contract diabetes if we don't change.